What is going on, everyone? It's Sean Mitchell, Colo Listings Real Estate, and coming at you with a market update to give you a pulse on what's happening in the local real estate market here in Denver. There's some really cool things happening, both if you're a buyer and as well a seller. Hope you're enjoying this fall weather. It's starting to cool down. Hopefully you've taken a trip to the mountains to see the fall colors. I know my family and I did last weekend with a group of friends, and it was spectacular. Had a lot of fun. But what's happening in the local market? I want to give you an update in case you are considering buying or selling. This will give you a high-level overview of what's happening. Should you put your house on the market, or should you start shopping now to find a house? Is this a good time to find a house? So let's get into the market update. So the first thing is, how fast are houses selling? And by the way, if in the notes of this post, you want to go back through and look at some of these stats, I've also put them in text form. You can also, if you want to pause the video and look at the actual visual that I'm providing for you, you're welcome to do that. That's the beautiful thing about videos. You can kind of go back, rewind, pause, fast forward if something is of interest to you or maybe not so relevant. So how fast are houses selling? So still, the low for 2017 is January, and it took 15 days to sell a house. And this is median days. So the high is April 2017 at 5 days. So it's at the peak of the market in 2017, it took 5 days to sell a house. And then what sort of change are we seeing from the last time I did this market update to now? So the month of August, it took 9 days. And last month, it crept up to 11 days. So this is a trend that I think will continue into the winter and is typical. The question I get a lot is are we headed towards a downturn in the Denver real estate market? From what I could gather, both dealing with my clients, listing clients and buyer clients, as well as some of the stats that I see, I think at this point, I'm going to say the answer is no. This slowing down currently is just typical winter activity. So I don't think it's anything out of the norm at this point. So we have crept up from 9 days in August to 11 days in September to sell a house. All right, so next topic. What are houses selling for? That's also an interesting indicator. So if you were to put your house on the market, is it going to sell for 110% over asking price? Is it going to sell for 95% or 5% under asking price? Still, again, the low, at its low or valley, January 2017, we saw a list price of $342 and a list price of $379.9 and a sale price of $342,000, or 90% of list price. At its high and peak, it was June 17, list price of $396.9, sale price of $385, or 97% of asking price. So what sort of change have we seen from the last time I did this video until this one? The month of August, list price was $388,750 and a sale price of $373,000, or 96% of asking price. In the last month, what are we seeing? How much is it changing? List price of $389.9 and sale price of $368,000, or 94% of asking price. So we saw a 2% change from August to September. And again, I think this is a slowing down, a typical slowing down and moving into winter. Winter here in Denver. There's not as many people who are looking for houses, which means that if you do list your house, you're not having that bidding frenzy that we saw at its peak this summer, where you had 10, 15, 20 offers. Now, if you put your house on the market, maybe you're lucky to have 2 or 3, maybe 5 at the most. So next one is, what's the inventory like? So how much inventory is there? Because this can also have an impact on if you're listing your house, how much competition or who of your neighbors are you having to compete with to get your house sold? So inventory, the low was February of this year at 6,567 homes. Its high for this year, July 2017, at 10,998. So over the last couple of months, what have we seen? In August, 10,997, which really wasn't much of a change from the peak of July. September, we saw some changes. We saw about a 3.5% reduction month over month. So September inventory was 10,663. Still just historical lows. Some of the lowest that we've seen in decades here in Denver. So what does that really mean? All these numbers and all these stats. I'm going to give you a grade. If you're a seller, what's the grade? How good does it look for you if you were to put your house on the market as well? I'm going to give buyers a grade as well. How good does it look if you were to start shopping now? So the answer: seller A+, buyers B+. So not much has changed for sellers. I still think that it's a fantastic market. You still have record low, historic low inventory, so there's not a lot of competition if you do put your house on the market. On the flip side of that, you do have a smaller pool of buyers that are looking at your houses and putting offers on your house. Now, as a buyer, you're actually coming into a really good season where there's not as much competition to buy a house. So if you find a house that you like, there's not as much that you're competing with, not as many people that you have to fight with in order to get that house that you're looking for. Houses are on the market, sitting on the market just a little bit longer, which does give you some buying power to negotiate a lower price. So overall, though, I think that if you're considering putting your house on the market, number one, I'd love to talk with you and see if we might be a good fit. Number two, it's still one of the best times in Denver's real estate history for you to put your house on the market. You're going to get close, very close to asking price, if not at or maybe even higher. If you're a buyer and you're considering starting to shop, also, I'd love to talk with you and see if we might be a good fit, but you're really coming into a great season of 2017 where you've got the highest potential of getting a really, really great price. So again, seller's market, A+, I think it's really, really great still. Buyer's market, B+. That's changed from the last month that I did this market update. I rated the buyer's market at a B-. This month, it's a B+. So thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my Facebook page, please give it a like. And if you are in the market to either buy or sell, I'd love to at least talk with you and see if we might be a good fit. I'd love to interview for the job. So go ahead and select the message button down here in the corner, and that will allow us to engage and see if we might be able to sit down and see if we might be a good fit. And if you have questions, or maybe there was something that I missed in this market update, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and I'll be keeping an eye on those and responding to those. Sean Mitchell, Co-Listings Real Estate, Amy Ryan Group, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next market update in November.